Most know me and most don't. But for the ones that do know me, good for you. I wrote this story because I've been going through a lot for the past week and I've been hiding it to myself. And I know for the ones that are going to be watching this, I'm sure you're going to have some comments. I don't care. I wrote this story and it's called The Dark Room. Most probably are taking this like the dirty way or something, but it resembles of what I've been feeling. I can never really talk about it, so I just wrote it. And I'm going to read it. The Dark Room. I sit in the corner with the dried up tears on my face, half my hair covering my face. With the soft glow of the last candle I have, I start to crawl to the door. I get on my knees and I start pounding on the door. With my fist, my hands hurt. I felt something wet dripping down my arm to my leg. I look down and it's my blood. I look at my hands and they're bleeding. I stare at my hands with despair. My eyes start to tear and I get up and I pound on the door harder, screaming, "Let me out." I waited. Nothing. Not a single sound, just silence. I fall to my knees and scream, "Why? Why me?" Crying, and I fall to the floor. I get into a ball and I cry myself to sleep. I wake up and I barely open my eyes. There's a shadow of something. I open my eyes all the way. It's a tall man hovering me. He stares at me with his dark and pressing eyes, and I say to him, "Help me." He stares at me and starts to walk away. I scream at him, "Wait." He closes the doors, and all I can hear is him putting the big chains on the doors that are keeping me locked away in this horrible place. So I go and sit back in my dark corner, and I stare at the candlelight that I have left. My thoughts start running through my mind. I'm hungry. I want to leave. 1 week goes by. I wake up, and all I can hear is my stomach growling, my heart beating. I get up, and I start to look around for something that can help me end my pain. I start to crawl around and use my hands to feel on the ground. Something sharp. It cut my hand even more than they already were. I took the object to the candlelight, and it was a piece of glass. I held the piece of glass in my hand, and I stared at it, and millions of questions were running through my mind. But I finally made my decision, and I took the glass, and I started to mark down the days as they passed. Every tear I would shed, I would mark them down. Another week goes by. Lately, the dark and mysterious man has been coming by. I wonder why. I question of where I am. Are there others here? I sit there in my corner, marking the days off of the walls. I'm so alone that I draw things almost like a story. I stare at the wall thinking about the picture I drew. It seems so happy there, the sun shining, the birds chirping, the grass between my toes, best of all, people and family. I look around with where I'm sitting, and my smile disappears. It's nothing but black walls and rocky floors, chains, and my candlelight that is barely there. I just slide down the wall and curl into a small ball, and I slowly close my eyes, and the very last thing I see is a little blur. It's a somewhat still burning candlelight, and I fall asleep. The next morning, I slowly open my eyes, and I can see that creepy man. He's picking me up, and I try to move, and I can't. I feel as my body is frozen. I can't talk. They put something in my mouth. They put me down and dragged me to this cage and locked it. It was really, really dark in there. He had finally turned the lights on, and I couldn't believe my eyes. There were so many dead animals. I still couldn't figure out where exactly I was. He strapped me to the table, and he finally takes the thing out of my mouth, and I scream, and he said that there's no point, no one can hear you. I ask where I am, and he doesn't answer me. He walks towards me and injects me something in my arm. I feel like my body is being stabbed. I scream, and I'm in so much pain. My heart starts pounding harder and harder, till I feel my body start to fade away. I sit there staring at the ceiling and saying my goodbyes, while my breaths are getting shorter and shorter and harder as I feel my chest tightening, and then I can't breathe at all. I wrote that myself, and that's what I feel. And that's it.